Hello world, I'm the new guy. Welcome you all new guys. So in this video we're gonna discuss another algorithm that it's called balanced parentheses. This algorithm, what it's about, we have a string of parentheses, open and closing parentheses. So we're gonna check if for every open parenthesis we have a closing one in the proper like left right hand side. In this example you can have like a more complex example if you use brackets and curly braces inside parentheses, like making groups. But for now let's just keep it simple and we're gonna just discuss about this one. Maybe if you guys want we can discuss in a further video about this more advanced example, or it's a cool exercise for you to make on your own. So let's get into it. As usual, we have our function. The only parameter that we're going to receive is the string that contains our parentheses, our different parentheses open and closing. So for this solution we're going to use a stack. We're going to process our array, our string of parentheses one at a time. Whenever we find an open parenthesis, we're going to push that element into the stack. And when we find an closing parenthesis, we're going to pop an element out of the stack. Following this logic, whenever we end up processing the entire string, if our stack is empty, that means that all the parentheses is property balanced. All the string is property balanced. Otherwise, we have two edge cases. In case we have an extra open parenthesis, one or more, or one or more extra closing parentheses. We're gonna check out both edge cases at the end, but at first let's just take care of the basic part of this algorithm. So let's reserve a space for our stack. Let's call it stack. As you know, on JavaScript we can the array object is really powerful. We can emulate a stack or a queue using shift and unshift or push and pop. So we're gonna use those methods. We're gonna take advantage of this method, so we're not gonna define our own stack. So let's start going through our array of parentheses. Let's create a variable called single of parse, and whenever we find an open parenthesis, as mentioned before, what we're gonna do is do a push into our stack. And whenever we are finding a closing parenthesis, what we're gonna do is actually do a push, a pop on the stack. So if the stack is empty when we are done processing our array, that means the string is properly balanced. Let's check that out. Let's use a simple example first. So something like this. So we have true. That means our example and our logic is working fine. Let's work with a little more complex example to see if everything's fine. We still have a true. Let's do something more. True. Now let's try to break it. Let's have an extra open parenthesis. That's a false, and that's expected, right? What about this example? If we have an extra closing parenthesis, that's true. And the reason for this is because whenever we find a closing parenthesis and we try to do a pop on the stack and the stack is empty, JavaScript silently fails. It doesn't send us any message or any like notification whatsoever about the trying to pop on an empty stack. So we need to take care of this edge case. Whenever we are trying to do a pop, if the actual stack it's empty, then we can simply return false. We don't need to process any longer, because there's any sense with having a closing parenthesis at that point on the string. So that's a false, so that's as expected. And since we're only like evaluating parentheses, whatever symbol or whatever character that we have in the middle is not going to be part of the algorithm. So we can have something like this, and it's not going to affect us, the result, at all. So we still have our true. And the other edge case that we had was with an extra open parenthesis like this, and this is correctly returning false because at the end the stack has an extra element. It has an extra open parenthesis, so length is at least 1. That's why we already have this scenario covered. That's it. We have resolved our balanced parenthesis algorithm. I hope you learned something new. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and click on the notification bell so you will get some notification when I have some new videos for you on this channel. And hope to see you soon. Bye world.